most of what we were. I felt it in the silence, in the space between our hands. We were standing close together, but no longer where we stand. I watched our love die slowly right before my eyes, not in screams of fire, but in quiet goodbyes. We kept pretending nothing's wrong while something slipped away. I watched our love die slowly, day by day. We stopped having long talks, started sleeping back to back. Your touch felt unfamiliar, like something we both lacked. I tried to spark the feeling, tried to bring it back, but you can't relight a candle when the wick has turned to black. I kept holding on to memories, like they could make it breathe. But love needs two hearts fighting, not one heart on its knees. I watched our love die slowly in the way you turn away, in every almost kiss that never found its way. We were drifting like strangers in a house we used to know. I watched our love die slowly and couldn't let it go. Love shouldn't feel this fragile, shouldn't fade without a fight, shouldn't turn to shadows in the middle of the night. If you felt it slipping too, why didn't you say my name? Why did I have to lose you in a slow and silent flame? Now I'm walking through the ashes of something once alive, trying to understand how love survives or dies. I watched our love die slowly, but I'm still standing here, learning how to let it rest, learning not to fear. If love can fade so quietly, then it was never strong. I watched our love die slowly. Now I'm moving on. It didn't break in a moment, it didn't scream or cry. I watched our love die slowly, and so did I. We used to say forever, stone, like nothing in this whole wide world could undo what we'd sown. Your name felt like a promise, resting on my lips. I built my life around the way your fingers fit my fingertips. Never loved you halfway, never kept a door. When I said you were my always, I meant something more. You said forever changes, people drift apart, but I was still believing with all my heart. I looked past forever, past the breaking point, past every cracked and fragile vow we tried to repoint. I stayed when the future started looking unsure. You stopped it till it's hard, but I loved past forever. I felt the distance creeping in the quiet of your side. Heard the hesitation when you said goodbye. You told me love is fragile, that it fades with time, but mine kept burning brighter, even when you left mine. I would have walked through fire just to keep us whole. Halfway out the door. There's a kind of loving that doesn't know when to end. It keeps holding tighter even when it shouldn't. I love past forever, past the final call, past the last I miss you, past the writing on the wall. I kept your side of the bed like you'd return to me. You stopped it just for now, but I love past eternity. Maybe that's my weakness, maybe that's my gift. I don't know how to love halfway, or let my heart just drift. If I give you my tomorrow, I give you all my years, even if it costs me. every tear. Our love past forever, past what we could save, past every broken promise. We were too afraid. You may have found your ending, but mine won't sever. Because even when you stop, I loved past forever. You stopped at goodbye. You stopped at whatever. My heart didn't know how. I loved you past forever. You say we're just tired, that love goes through this phase, but I see it in your eyes. You're already walking away. Your hands don't hold like before. Your voice don't sound the same. We still say I love you, but it feels rehearsed and strained. I keep replaying memories like they might make it strong, trying to fix in silence what's been breaking all along. You're letting go slowly, I can feel it in my bones. You're already somewhere else, and it's just me holding on. It's me holding on when you've already left. Me still believing in what we had and what's next. I'm gripping on to promises you've quietly withdrawn. It's you halfway gone, and me holding on. I still defend you when my friends can see the way you stopped choosing what we used to be. I tell myself you're scared, that you just need time, but love shouldn't feel like I'm crossing every line. You don't say you're leaving, but you don't say you'll stay, and every silent moment takes a piece of me away. There's a difference between hope and holding on too long, but I don't know how to stop when I feel this strong. It's me holding on through every quiet night, through every almost ending, through every fading light. You don't fight for us, but I keep fighting on. It's loving you fully, and me holding on. I don't wanna be while you drift away. Me still saying forever when you won't say stay. I can't carry both our hearts for long. It can't always be me holding on. You don't have to say it, I already know. It's me still reaching while you let go. I never asked you to be perfect. Never asked you to pretend. I loved you in your weakest hours, again and again. When you doubted your own worth, I held it up for you. When the world turned its back, I was your truth. I didn't keep a list of wrongs, didn't keep a score. I opened up my heart to you and unlocked every door. I thought that love meant staying no matter what we're in, but loving without limits doesn't mean you win. I loved you with no conditions, no if and no when, no lines drawn in the sand, no need to pretend. I gave you all my patience, every prayer I'd send, but you couldn't love me back with no condition. I saw the cracks inside you and called them beautiful. Wrap my arms around your flaws like they were miracles. I stayed through every silence, every restless night. Turned your chaos into calm and your wrong into right. But every time I needed you, you pull away instead. It felt like I was loving you while loving alone in my head. I didn't ask for promises you couldn't keep or bend. I just asked you to choose me again and again. I loved you with no conditions, through every high and low, through every broken promise you were scared to show. I stood there in the fire where you stood on the fence. I gave you all my heart with no conditions. Maybe I was foolish to give without a guard, to believe that open hands wouldn't leave me scarred. But I don't regret the way I love or the truth I let you in. I just regret you didn't love me with no conditions. I I loved you with no conditions, no fear and no disguise. With all my flaws and fragile hope and tears behind my eyes. Now I'm learning love needs balance, not just blind devotion. I gave you everything I had with no condition. I don't regret the way I gave or the depth of my intention. I just wish you'd love me too, with no condition. Chasing something bigger than us. I tried to be brave when you walked away, even though it hurt this much. Your suitcase by the doorway, your shadow on the wall. I memorized your heartbeat like I could stop the fall. You held my face and whispered, don't you worry, I'll be fine. But fine feels so much farther when you're not here in mine. Every mile between us feels heavier than it seems. So if you can't come back to me, just come back in my dreams. Stay safe for me. If you can't stay here, if I can't hold you close or wipe away your fear, promise me you'll look both ways before you cross the street. Promise me the world won't break the heart that beats for me. If loving you means letting go, then that's what I'll agree. Just stay safe for me. Your picture by my bed, trace the outline of your smile, talk to you in empty rooms like you'll answer after a while. The nights are long without you, the silence hits too deep. I'd give away my pride just to hear you breathe in your sleep. I know I can't control the world or where your footsteps roam, but every prayer I whisper begins with come back home. I'd rather miss you every day than lose you for all time. if you can't stay near. If life pulls you somewhere I can't follow from here, promise me you'll guard your heart the way I guarded mine. Promise me you'll make it through one day at a time. If I can't be your shelter now, just remember what we used to be. Stay safe for me. I'm scared of the unknown, of the roads I'll never see, of late night calls that never come and what that might mean. But loving you is bigger than my need to keep, so I'll let you chase your future. If you stay safe for me, stay safe for me. Through every storm you face, through every dark and lonely place. If I can't be your arms tonight or the tears you let me see, promise you'll survive this world even if it's without me. If loving you means breaking free, then set yourself free. Just stay safe. Stay safe for me. I'll be loving you quietly from wherever you'll be. Just stay safe for me. We started out so tender, like petals in the spring. Every word was careful, every touch a sacred thing. You'd brush the hair behind my ear like I was made of light. Hold me like the whole wide world could never start a fight. We said we'd guard each other from the sharpness life can bring. We promised love would stay soft through everything. But somewhere in the silence, the sweetness lost its will, and I kept praying quietly, love stay gentle still. Love stay gentle still. Don't turn your hands to stone. Don't let the warmth we built grow cold and overthrown. We were safe inside each other before the cracks could fill. If there's a spark left in us, love stay gentle still. Your kisses changed in temperature, your laughter lost its glow. We stopped saying I'm sorry, started letting distance grow. I tried to hold the fragile parts before they slipped away. Called it just a season, hoping it would stay. But Seasons turn so quickly, and hearts can bend until even the kindest feeling forgets how to be still. I don't need perfection, I just need what's real. I need the love we used to know to stay gentle still. Gentle still, don't let the fire fade. Don't let small misunderstandings turn into barricades. We don't have to lose each other, we don't have to feel this chill. If there's a piece of us that's left, love, stay gentle still. I just want the quiet kind that holds me through the night, the kind that doesn't wound to win or break just for the thrill, the kind that stays soft-hearted, the kind that stays gentle still. Love, stay gentle still before it's too far gone, before we wake up strangers wondering what went wrong. I'll fight for something tender if you fight with me at will. Don't let what we build together lose how to be gentle still. We don't need a perfect love, just one that bends, not breaks, one that stays soft in the storm, one that stays gentle still. You had to leave, chasing something bigger than us. I tried to be brave when you walked away, even though it hurt this much. Your suitcase by the doorway, your shadow on the wall. I memorized your heartbeat like I could stop the fall. You held my face and whispered, don't you worry, I'll be fine. But fine feels so much farther when you're not here in mine. Every mile between us feels heavier than it seems. So if you can't come back to me, just come back in my dreams. Stay safe for me. If you can't stay here, If I can't hold you close or wipe away your fear, promise me you'll look both ways before you cross the street. Promise me the world won't break the heart that beats for me. If loving you means letting go, then that's what I'll agree. Just stay safe for me. Keep your picture by my bed, trace the outline of your smile, talk to you in empty rooms, like you'll answer after a while. The nights are long without you, the silence hits too deep. I'd give away my pride just to hear you breathe in your sleep. I can't control the world or where your footsteps roam, but every prayer I whisper begins with come back home. I'd rather miss you every day than lose you for all time. So if love can't keep you here, let protection be the sign. Stay safe for me. If you can't stay near, if life pulls you somewhere I can't follow from here, promise me you'll guard your heart the way I guarded mine. Promise me you'll make it through one day at a time. If I can't be a shelter now, just remember what we used to be. Stay safe for me. I'm scared of the unknown, of the roads I'll never see, of late night calls that never come and what that might mean. But loving you is bigger than my need to keep, so I let you chase your future if you stay safe for me. Stay safe for me through every storm you face, through every dark and lonely place. If I can't be your arms tonight or the tears you let me see, promise you'll survive this world even if it's without me. If loving you means breaking free, then set yourself free. Just stay safe. Stay safe for me. I'll be loving you quietly from wherever you'll be. Just stay safe for me. saw the warning signs in the way you look away. Heard it in your silence when you didn't know what to say. You stopped reaching for my hand, stop calling just because. But I kept holding on to what was left of us. I told myself you're tired, that love just bends sometimes. I kept rewriting endings between the lines. I felt you halfway gone, but I chose to stay stronger. You started letting go. I just stayed longer. I stayed longer than I should have known. Held on to forever when I felt alone. I kept choosing you when you'd already moved on. You didn't leave all at once. I just stayed longer. I defended you in conversations when my friends could see the way you stopped fighting for you and me. You kissed me like a memory, not something real, and I kept calling distance something we could heal. I would have crossed oceans if you'd met me halfway, but I was the only one begging you to stay. There's a difference between loving and losing yourself. I gave you everything and more than I had left. I stayed longer through every quiet night, through every almost ending, through every fading light. I kept believing we were still strong, but love can't survive if one heart's gone. I don't regret my loyalty or the depth of how I cared, but loving someone who won't fight back leaves your heart bare. I wasn't weak for staying, I just left stronger. But I can't keep breaking by staying longer. I stayed longer than my heart could take, held on to promises that started to break. You were already leaving, I was holding on. I didn't lose you suddenly, I just stayed longer. It wasn't that I didn't see it, it wasn't that I was blind. I I just believed in us a little longer than you did. Didn't end in one night, didn't break in two. It faded in the spaces between me and you. We still said I love you, but softer than before. Like the words were losing meaning as they hit the floor. I felt it in your silence, in the way you'd look away, like part of you was leaving a little more each day. I knew we were unraveling, but I refused to see that holding on to something gone was breaking me. I stayed through the long goodbye, through every almost end, through every tear we didn't cry, through love we couldn't mend. I held on to your fading heart while you let ours slide. I stayed through every silent night, through the long goodbye. Making plans, stopped talking about Sunday, started living separate lives while lying in the same place. You'd say we're just tired, that we'll be fine in time. The time was slowly stealing what used to be mine. I kept reaching for your hand even when it fell. Tried to save a love that was saying farewell. There's a kind of heartbreak that doesn't crash or cry. It lingers in the quiet like a long goodbye. I stayed through the long goodbye, through the slow retreat, through every distant heartbeat skipping next to me. I told myself it's temporary, it's just a phase, just try. But love was walking out the door, and the long goodbye. Maybe I should have left sooner, maybe I should have known. You can't hold on to someone who's already gone. But I loved you too deeply to just walk away, so I stood in the fading light and watched us slip away. I stayed through the long goodbye until there was nothing left, until your touch felt unfamiliar against my chest. I didn't leave because I stopped or because I didn't try. I left when love Coffee cup still in the cabinet, your jacket's on the chair. I haven't moved a single thing, like you're still standing there. The hallway feels too quiet, the clock is ticking loud. Every little corner feels emptier now. I never knew a room could feel this cold, when the only thing missing is someone I used to hold. It's not just the silence or the tears I've wept, it's learning how to live with the space you left. The space you left is bigger than these walls. It's in the bed beside me, it's down these empty halls. It's in the way I reach for you and catch my breath instead. You didn't just walk out the door, you left a space inside my chest. Set to place out of habit every night. Still check my phone when it lights up bright. I replay every moment, trying to find where love slipped quietly out of my life. You said we both deserve more, the echo before we lost so bad. The space you left is louder than goodbye. It follows me to sleep, it wakes me up at night. It's in every memory I can't forget. You didn't just leave me, space you left. Wish you'd broken things, given me a fight, instead of leaving gently into the night. Because quiet endings linger long after you've stepped, and I'm still learning how to breathe with the space you left. The space you left still feels like you, like every part of me is missing too. I'm trying to grow around it, but I haven't yet found a way to live with the space you left. It's not just the silence, it's not just regret, it's loving you still in the space you left. resting on my tongue. Held on to every memory like we were still young. Your jacket on my chair, your picture by my bed. I was living in the past, in the words we never said. I told myself you'd call, that this was just a phase, that love like ours could never simply fade away. But hope can be a heavy thing when it won't let you move. And loving someone halfway gone is slowly losing you. Held on to you through every sleepless night, through every maybe someday. I tried to make it right. I kept the door wide open long after you were gone. My heart kept saying wait until I let you go. I defended you in silence when my friends could see the way you stopped choosing what we used to be. I reread old messages like they could bring you back. Turned every little memory into what I lack. I thought if I just loved you more, you'd feel it in your soul. But love can't make somebody stay if they've already let go. There's a moment when the truth is louder than the ache, when staying hurts much deeper than the break. Held on to you through every fading sign, through every empty promise you left behind. I carried all the pieces of a love that couldn't grow. I didn't start to breathe again until I let you go. Letting go felt like drowning, like giving up on fate, like closing every chapter we were meant to write. But sometimes love is knowing when to stop the fight, when holding on too tightly steals your light. Held on to you until my hands were tired, until I saw the truth through all the fire. Now I'm learning how to stand on my own 2 feet. I didn't lose myself forever, I just had to let you go to finally find me. I loved you longer than I should have known, but I finally found my strength the day I let you go. traced every dream upon my skin. We were young and fearless then, didn't know how this would end. You said forever like a promise, like the stars would never fall. But forever started fading when you stopped needing me at all. I held the pieces of us while you were letting go. I felt the distance growing, but I was scared to know. I didn't see the silence slowly turning us to stone. I was still holding on until love was gone. I kept believing we were just a little lost, but you're already moving on. And I was fighting for a feeling that had already flown. I was still saying we, until love was gone. Your sweater on my bedroom chair still smells like yesterday, but your side of this broken bed is colder than the rain. I replay every memory like I'm searching for a sign of where we lost the fire, where your heart stopped holding mine. You stopped looking at me like I was home, and I kept loving you alone. I didn't see the silence slowly turning us to stone. I was still holding on until love was gone. I kept believing we were just a little lost, but you were already moving on. And I was fighting for a feeling that had already flown. I was still saying we, until love was gone. Now the pictures on the wall feel like strangers in a frame. I don't recognize the girl who begged you to stay. If love is meant to last, why did ours feel so wrong? How did I miss the moment when the goodbye came along? I didn't hear the silence when your heart turned into stone. I was still holding on until love was done. I kept believing I could fix what we had lost, but you were already moving on. Now I'm learning how to breathe in a world where I'm alone. I was still loving you until love was gone. I was still loving you until love was gone. like it couldn't break or bend, like love was something solid, like it didn't have an end. Your name fit in my future, like it had always been. Every dream I ever dreamed had you standing in. We built a life in whispers, late at night in the dark. Never thought we'd be the ones who'd watch forever fall apart. I felt it in the silence before you said a word, the kind of quiet heartbreak that's felt before it's heard. When forever fell apart, it didn't make a sound. It slipped right through our fingers and hit the ground. We were holding on to promises that couldn't hold our hearts. I never thought I'd live to see when forever fell apart. Your kisses lost their fire, your eyes began to roam. We were lying next to each other, but never felt so alone. You said we'd find our way back, that love just needed time, but time was slowly stealing. We used to feel like mine. I kept trying to believe in the words you used to say, but forever started fading a little more each day. There's a difference between staying and already being gone. I was fighting for tomorrow while you were moving on. When forever fell apart, I felt my whole world shake. Every plan we ever made started to break. I held on to your memory like it was all I had. I never thought forever could end this bad. Maybe forever's just a word we say when we feel safe. Maybe love can still be real, even if it doesn't stay. I don't regret the way I loved or how hard I gave my heart. I just never saw it coming. When forever fell apart, when forever fell apart, I learned how deep I feel, how something so beautiful can stop being real. You may have closed the chapter, but the scars still mark the night we watched it shatter. When forever fell apart, we said it would last forever. We swore it from the start. I just didn't know forever could fall You looked at me like I was magic, like I was all you'd ever need. Said I was different from the others, said I was everything you dreamed. You held my face between your hands, like you were scared I'd slip away. But now I know you were just scared of having someone stay. You made me feel like I was chosen, like I was worth the fight. But forever only lived in the softness of that night. I didn't see the fading hidden in your smile. I was planning out a lifetime. You were staying for a while. You loved me for a while, like a song you used to play on repeat until you found another melody to chase. You held me like forever, but forever wasn't your style. I gave you all my heart. You loved me for a while. You said you saw a future when you looked into my eyes. Now you can barely hold them when we're saying our goodbyes. You told me I was home, but homes aren't left behind. And if I was your everything, why was I so easy to unwind? I keep replaying moments, trying to understand when the warmth inside your touch turned into letting go of my hand. my world around you. You loved me for a while. I would have stayed through the hard days, through every doubt you feared, but you only love the easy parts. The moments when I didn't need you need. Was I just a chapter in a story you outgrew? 'Cause I was writing wedding vows while you were writing something new. I don't regret loving you. I regret believing you were loving me the same. You loved me for a while, but I loved you completely. Every flaw, every scar, every broken piece so deeply. You held me like forever, but forever wasn't your style. Now I'm learning how to live without your borrowed smile. You loved me for a while. We used to fall asleep, wrapped up in each other's skin. Your heartbeat steady next to mine, like that's where I begin. The world felt far away when I was in your arms. You were my safest place, my shelter from the storm. Slowly something shifted, like summer turning cold. The fire that once held us lost the heat we used to hold. I kept chasing embers in the dark, trying to find the spark after the warmth. What do we have left? Cold sheets and memories and a heavy chest. After the warmth, where do I run when the place I called home comes undone? We were fire once, now it just hurts after the warmth. Your hands don't linger, way they used to stay. Your kisses feel like echoes of yesterday. We still say I love you, but it sounds unsure, like love is something we're trying to endure. I miss the way you looked at me, like I was all you saw. Now I'm staring at a stranger, wondering what we lost. There's a kind of cold that cuts beneath the skin when love fades quietly from within. After the warmth, there's only space where comfort lived. Now there's a trace after the war. I'm left alone in a house that doesn't feel like home. We were light once, now we just hurt after the warmth. I don't need perfection or a love without scars. I just need to feel like we still are, because I can't survive on what we were when everything now feels unsure. After the warmth, I see the truth. Two hearts still beating, but not like they used to. After the warmth, we slowly burned out. No screaming, no flames, just doubt. We were everything. Now we're just words after the warmth. I still remember how it felt at first, before the silence, after the warmth. I didn't love you halfway. I didn't play it safe. I dove into your ocean, even when it raged. I memorized your heartbeat like it was my favorite song. Held you in my quiet arms when everything went wrong. I saw the parts you tried to hide, the cracks beneath your smile. I loved you in the broken places, stayed a little while. I never counted what I gave or what you didn't say. I just believed that loving you with every whispered promise and every second look. I gave you all my softness, my strength when you were weak. I loved you beyond reason, beyond what words can speak. I loved you deeply. Stayed when storms were heavy, when doubt filled up the room. Turned your silence into patience, called your distance soon. I painted hope on every wall that felt like it would fall. I kept saying we were strong while losing it all. You said you needed space to grow, to find yourself again. But I was right beside you until the end. There's a difference between holding on and holding someone's hand. I was loving with my whole heart, you were halfway in. I loved you deeply, always, through every rise and fall, through every time you swore you didn't need me at all. I would have walked forever, through every high and low. But forever takes two hearts, and one can't carry both. I don't regret the depth of me or how hard I tried. Some people love in shallow waves, I love like the tide. And even when you walked away and left me in the cold, my love didn't disappear, it just had nowhere left to go. I loved you deeply, always, even when you changed, even when the light in us started to rearrange. You may forget the way I felt or the truth in what I gave, but I'll always know I loved you deeply, always. I didn't love you like I swore I'd never fall that hard after what I'd been through. Built my walls a little higher, locked every broken truth. I learned to love in half measures, keep one foot out the door. Promised my fragile heart it wouldn't hurt no more. Then you looked at me like I was worth the risk again, and somehow I believed in forever again. You said you don't have to be strong, you can just be you. And for the first time in a long time, I let myself fall through. I loved you without fear again, gave you all of me. No hesitation, no defense, just open honesty. I put my scars into your hands, trusted you with them. I swore I'd never break like that, but I loved you without fear again. I told you secrets I once buried deep beneath my skin. Showed you every fragile place I'd never let love in. You traced the cracks so tenderly, said they made me whole. But somewhere in your changing heart, you let me go. You said it's not about you, like that would make it less. But losing you feels heavier, because I gave my best. I wasn't guarded, I wasn't numb, I didn't run away. I chose to trust in something real, and you still couldn't stay. I loved you without fear again, like I was brave enough to believe in something strong. When love turned rough, I let you see the deepest parts, the places I defend. I promised I'd protect myself, but I loved you without fear again. Was I foolish to believe that this time would be different, that love could finally stay and not feel so distant? I don't regret the way I felt or the truth I let you in. I just wish it didn't end the way it always ends. I loved you without fear again, without a single wall, without a backup plan to catch me if I fall. Now I'm picking up the pieces of the heart I tried to mend. I swore I'd never risk it all, but I loved you without fear again. Maybe loving without fear is still worth the pain, but it hurts to know I loved you without fear again. You said love should be easy, shouldn't feel like a fight, but I was the only one staying up all night, trying to fix what was breaking, trying to understand why I was holding tighter while you loosened your hand. I memorized your silence like it held the key, but all it ever told me was you were drifting from me. I kept telling myself it's just a phase we'll conquer, but loving someone halfway makes you love harder. I loved harder when you loved less. I gave you my whole heart while you second guessed. I stayed stronger when you grew unsure. I carried both of us till I couldn't anymore. I didn't fall apart, I just loved harder. You called it complicated, I called it worth the pain. You said you needed distance, I stood out in the rain. I fought for every promise you started to ignore. I kept building futures you weren't fighting for. I thought if I gave more of me, you'd feel what I felt too. But love can't grow deeper if it's only one heart that's true. There's a difference between loyalty and losing yourself. I kept pouring out my love till there was nothing left. I loved harder through every silent night, through every almost ending, through every fading light. I chose you daily, even when it hurt. But forever can't survive on one heart's work. I didn't give up, I just loved harder. I don't regret my devotion or how deeply I care, but loving someone who won't fight back leaves your soul bare. I shouldn't have to beg to be held the same. Love isn't a competition or a one-sided flame. I loved harder, but that wasn't enough. You can't save a love that's given up. I gave you everything from start to farther. You didn't lose me suddenly. I just loved harder. I wasn't weak for trying, I wasn't wrong to care. I just loved you deeper than you were ever there. still know the rhythm of your footsteps down the hall. Still feel your ghost beside me when the night begins to fall. I kept a little hope alive in the corner of my mind, like maybe you'd come back to me if I just gave it time. But hope can be a cruel thing when they won't set you free. And loving you halfway gone is slowly breaking me. I've been holding on to memories like they're all I need, but you can't heal a heart if it won't let bleed. So I'll let go completely, even if it tears me apart. I'll stop saving a space for you inside my heart. I'll fold up every dream we made and set them out to sea. If loving you is hurting me, I'll let go completely. I kept your name in conversations like you were still mine, defended you in silence every single time. I told myself a distance didn't mean we were done, but distance turned to absence, and absence won. You don't look at me the same, there's no fire in your eyes, and I can't keep pretending that this isn't goodbye. There's a difference between fighting and refusing to see that sometimes loving someone means setting them free. So I let go completely, even though it hurts to breathe. I'll stop reaching for your shadow that's no longer reaching me. I'll gather all the pieces of who I used to be. If holding on is killing me, I'll let go completely. I thought if I just loved you more, you'd find your way back home. But love can make somebody stay when they've already gone. I don't regret the way I felt or who I chose to be. I just regret how long it took to choose me. I'll let go completely. No more almost, no more maybe. No more wishing you'd remember how you used to hold me. I'll close the door with shaking hands and let the silence be, because loving you half-hearted isn't loving me. I'll miss you, I'll ache for you, but I won't stay where I'm not free. never begged me to stay. You just left the door half open and let me find my way. I thought that meant you loved me. That meant you felt it too. But sometimes open doors don't mean they're meant for you. You let me sleep beside you like nothing had to change. But I could feel the distance in every word you didn't say. I mistook your silence for comfort and for grace. I didn't see the warning in the look upon your face. You let me stay even when your heart had gone. You let me build forever on something already done. You didn't stop my loving, you didn't walk away. You just stood there quietly and let me stay. You kissed me like a memory, soft but out of time. Held me like a habit, not like I was mine. You said you needed space, but kept me in your arms, like keeping me close would soften all the harm. I would have left with dignity if you'd just been clear, but you let me hold on while you disappeared. There's a certain kind of heartbreak that doesn't scream or shout. It's staying in a love that's already walked out. You let me stay when I should have known that loving someone halfway leaves you alone. You didn't break my heart in one loud display. You broke it slowly when you let me stay. I almost wish you'd ended it, given me a line instead of letting me believe you were still mine. Because holding on to someone who's already moved away is the cruelest kind of mercy. You let me stay. You let me stay, and I gave you my all. Every whispered always, every rise and fall. You didn't have to push me, you didn't have to say. You just loved me less and let me stay.